Melissa Hendricks here, coming in from Edmonton, Canada, still in lockdown. And Tim Ellis has asked me to share a showbiz horror story, bad showbiz story. So I will tell you a story I kept secret for a long, long time. I shared on our podcast in the San Jose episode for the first time, and we'll tell again here because most people did not hear that episode. So I have been a performer for a long, long time, since I was 16, and which makes that this is my 17th year of performing. And I've done many things: kids shows, burlesque, still walking, acrobatics, circus, magic, lots of things, fire. And one of the things I used to do that I've only got out of about a year ago, I sold off all the props for it, was I used to do a circus birthday party show that involved a workshop element. And I was at a client's house for a birthday party, and I was performing as Dee Dee Darling, which is my kids show character. And they had set up the circus workshop area outside, and the way the show would often work was I would do the show, and then there would be like more party potentially or food, and then we would do the circus workshop part. Sometimes we would divide it up, just so that it would bookend the party, which I did not mind. And this was one of those shows. So all the kids were outside in the grass, did a 25-minute, 30-minute circus show. We all ran into the house, and I was invited to eat cake, and so I did. And I'm in character, so I'm, jumping around and being silly and being goofy, and, all the kids and I, we're outside hanging out, and we run inside, and we eat the cake, and then we run outside, and we grab some toys, and we run inside, and we're having a lot of fun. And as I'm bounding into the house, and bounding out of the house, and bounding into the house with the kids, I'm getting more silly, because I'm in character. And so I bound into the house, and we sit down, and then I go to bound out of the house to go get something, to get a ball to bring in for the kids. And so the kids kind of bound after me. And that day, in the city of Calgary, Alberta, it was very mosquito-y. And so after bounding into the house at quite a speed for the 40th time that day, the screen door was closed before my subsequent bound out of the house. And so there was a screen door between me in my inside environment and my outside environment where I wanted to go. And because I was jumping in and quite energetic, I threw my body at this screen door I didn't know was there. And the screen door crumpled around me like a cage. Like it just, because I threw my body at it, it came out of the frame of the door and wrapped itself around me. And I was encaged in this previous screen door that was now a ball, and had to unpeel myself while the children looked on in horror as their silly clown friend was rolling around on the floor. And I had also damaged the property, the property in this house, permanently damaged it. And so I said, I was like, hey kids, no big deal, no problem. But I still had a circus workshop to teach, so we went outside and we did the workshop, and I felt horrible just thinking I had damaged this person's property. I'd ruined their screen door. I don't know how much screen doors cost, definitely more than I'm making for this event. And so at the end of the party, we pack up our stuff. I loaded in the car. I had another event that day. I had some scrapes across my face from the door, which I only later noticed when I got back into the car. And I went to the hosts, husband and wife, and I at the end of the party, I profusely apologized, and I said sorry. And through they had their hands on their face, I'll never forget, and they were laughing into their hands. They went, it's fine, it happens all the time. And they handed me my full payment in cash. But they could not make eye contact with me, and they could not stop laughing long enough to communicate that they had forgiven me. And then I had to do another show that day, with like powder on my face covering the scrapes from the screen door. So that would potentially be my most embarrassing showbiz horror story. Almost makes me grateful that I'm in quarantine. I don't have to do shows right now. So hopefully that was what you were after, Tim. Have a great day. Stay safe. Thanks for having me.